That's gonna mess me up. I got a hot mic. Hot mic coming at you from the Apex Ice Arena. Can we start this over again? We're going to have to start from scratch. We are at the Edge Ice Arena in Littleton, Colorado. Harry Haviland rocking the mic. Hi! We got fans coming up. Give me 1 sec. I got to sign a quick autograph here. All right, we're back. Harry Haviland rocking the mic here at the Edge Ice Arena in Littleton, Colorado, as your Arvada PeeWee A team is set to tear up the ice against Wyoming in their third game of this tournament. Another big victory this morning. They're 2-0 so far, set to take on this Wyoming squad after a long break throughout the afternoon. Some people went home for a nap. Some people went out and had other hockey games, soccer games. Absolutely crazy. I went home, cleaned my gutters, raked the yard, painted the house, cooked dinner for everybody, and then just got my way back here just in time to see warm-up wind down and your Arvada squad in front of their own net, wearing the white jerseys with those slick new breezers, taking on Wyoming in the dark. Getting right at it, 6 o'clock game time start. They're keeping on schedule, which is actually very impressive. You don't see that too often here at any tournament, but Edge doing a good job of running this with 2 sheets going. We got bantams, we got squirts, we've got some 18Us, and we've got the penalty box open. Big shout out to the penalty box bar and grill, who is supplying Harry with his beverages for this evening's tilt. One, two, three, Wyoming. 1, 2, 3, Arvada coming at you. I can see these numbers a lot better, so I'm pretty excited. I know the Blacks are slick, but they tuck their jerseys in, and I can't see a 28 from a 26. No, I don't need glasses. I'm not that old. It's looking through the mesh across the ice. Looking like Cohen, Kai, and Colin are going to get the nod on this opening draw. They've got Bo and Milky back on D. Milky's sticking around the back end, and it looks like Ethan's going to be playing forward again. They made that change up this morning. Cohen wins it back, gets it over Milky, and we are underway on the OTT Sports Network. Wyoming crashing into the Arvada zone quick. Backhanded off the boards by Bo. Flip back in. Milky in front of his own net. Turns around quick off the boards. Not hard enough to get it past the waiting Wyoming player. Colin backhands it into center ice. Picked up by Wyoming. Pushed ahead quickly. They thought they stepped back onside. The ref says different. We're going to see a quick face-off and a quick whistle right outside the Arvada zone. Line staying the same here. Cohen's talking to his defenseman. Wins that one over to Colin. Colin sticks it ahead. Now he's got an opportunity to go wide on it. Colin's chasing this in. Tries to flip that back around. Kai wasn't quite there yet. They bang that one hard out. Icing is waved off. Milky coming back to pick this up. Being pressured hard by 2 players. Flips that over to Wyoming on the far side. Backhand by Cohen. Back over to Milky. Milky up the boards. Not out. Gonna get a second opportunity as he flips it up and it's tipped. Doesn't get it all the way out to Colin. Now Colin has it. Colin's coming through neutral ice. Goes across to Kai. Gets caught up in his skates. Doesn't have it. Flipped around as defense is making changes. Wyoming comes in, takes a shot, and Wynn makes the save. A quick pad kicked out to the side. And Arvada's fighting for it deep in their own zone. Kai picks it up, trying to stick handle his way out. Bangs it off the boards, looking for that reach to Cohen. Cohen racing in. Cohen goes down, takes a player down. No call on that one. And Wyoming picks it up behind their own net. Wyoming flipping it out, looking for the breakout. Walks it across their own blue line, coming through center ice. Gets bodied off it by Ethan and picked up by Anderson. Anderson hammers that one into the corner. They stay on side, being chased down by Evan. Evan goes hard into the boards. Keeping this one over to Anderson towards the front of the net, looking for Ethan. All the way back out to the point. Lexi hammers one towards the front, intercepted the hash marks. And Evan keeps that puck in. Evan just can't get the shot off. Back over to the dark jerseys from Wyoming, and they come out through center ice. Evan picks that up before he gets to the red line. And now they battle right down below the fans and right down below the press box here into your living rooms across the globe. Picked up by Ethan. Ethan walks in over to Anderson. Anderson takes a shot, blocked And a bouncing puck at the top of the circles. Back over to Evan. Onto the stick of Ethan. Into the corner now for Anderson. Anderson pushes it back out to the point. Lexi collects it back towards the front of the net and into the far corner. Ethan's got his orange laces flashing his way into the corner. Picked up by Wyoming and kicked to the far side. Lexi pinches in deep. Shovels one towards the front of the net. Picked off by Wyoming. And then again by Evan. Evan trying to find that one over to Ethan. They get it out of their own zone. Swing of the stick by Milo. Milo's going to take a penalty early in this game. That's a side bet right now. I've got 3 penalties on the game. If we're going to continue up this momentum, we're going to have 3 penalties in the first period. Because there is 11-12 left to go here in the first. Arvada PeeWee A taking on Wyoming. OTT Sports Network live in Littleton, Colorado. I'm Harry Haviland. Thank you for everybody taking your Saturday evening to join us on this one. We are live. We got Sean Johnson, Tim Maisonneuve, Laura Lee Sutherland, Tom Haviland, Anita Hernandez, Chris Pollock, all kinds of people tuning in early in this game. Arvada's fighting their way out of their own zone here as there's going to be a face-off over Wynn's right shoulder. Out there to take it is Calder. Wyoming wins that one, claps one in. Wynn just hangs onto it into his glove. The crowd gives him his support, and we're going to see a face-off in the same dot. Calder out there with Alex on this penalty kill. That's Owen and Jax on defense. Monument. Why do I keep saying Monument? It's maybe just, it's easy. It rolls off the tongue. Monument. We played Monument on Friday. Yeah, I think so. Rampage, Monument, Rampage. I don't know. Whatever. I'm confused. I'm easily confused. Back over to Wyoming. Wyoming flips that up through center ice. Hammering forward is Jackson. They come in, they stay on side, gets a stick lifted, coming through top of his own zone, gets it all the way out as Calder. They push that back in. Calder still swings it around, dumps it back in over the hawk at center ice, picked up by Wyoming. Backpedal on there, and they walk into the Arvada zone, coming into the top of the circle, decides not to shoot, goes wide, takes that shot late, gets deflected into the corner by Jax. Owen out to the top of the circle, another shot comes in. Wynn uses his stick to push that one into the near corner. Picked up by Jax, he hammers that one out hard. Picked up again by Wyoming. They step back into the Arvada zone, backhand it back out. They're playing pass with it here on the near boards, and now it gets down into the Wyoming zone. Off the boards and out. 45 seconds left to go in this Arvada penalty kill. And they're swinging for it. Picked up by Calder. Calder's got a little bit of speed and some room, walks in, pushes it towards the front of the net. That one skates through the crease and into the corner. Wyoming comes out, picked up by Jax. Jax trying to see if he can get Calder on that. Misses his stick, bounce over, and Wyoming comes back in the other way. Take the shot up high. Wynn takes that one right in the logo. Hangs on to it with 9 minutes and 30 seconds left to go in this first period. 18 seconds left in the Arvada penalty kill. Cohen out there now with Nick. That shot goes into the corner. Wyoming to collect in the Arvada zone towards the front of the net. The shot, the pad save. Cohen hammers that off the boards, clearing the front of his net. Back out to the point, another shot down in front. Wyoming comes to the front of the net and Wynn with another big save. Around the far side of the boards as the box is now cleared. Kai picks that one up there, asking for a too many men penalty. Kai stays on side, gets it over to Nick. Nick gets that shot up, pad save, rebound. Kai gets one, tries to get two. Back out to the point to Lexi. Lexi steps inside the blue line, shoots that one, it's blocked. Number 99 on the far boards for Wyoming, coming out of his own zone. That one's going to be offside as Wyoming stepped inside that blue line. A really close, too many men on the ice call there for Arvada. They snuck away with one as they're in the middle of the line change at the end of that penalty. But they keep it at zeros here with 8:45 left to go in the first period. Cohen, Colin, Kai, Lexi, and Milo. Center ice draw. Colin wins that back over to Colin. Colin just out of the reach of Kai into the Monument zone. They flip that back into neutral territory.
Wyoming.
Right. Did I say Monument again? I'm gonna just stop talking. Okay. I'm gonna sing for the crowd for the rest of the day. I've got this great song. It's called "Come See My Monument, Monument," because that's the only word I apparently know. Kai chasing that player down. They get it out of their zone. Back out to center. Turn around by Milo. Milo into his own corner, being hounded there. Spins and gets it up off the boards to Cohen. Cohen tips that one out, and now Kai's off to the races. Kai's coming around. Goes across, goes offside. He gets that one over to Colin with the right idea, but he was a little bit too deep in the zone before he made that pass. That will be 3 lashes later tonight. Same line sticking out there. Lexi and Milo on D. One back cleanly by Monument. Breaks it out of their own zone. Kick, Monument, Wyoming. Oh my gosh. I do keep doing it. So everybody at home knows Monument and Wyoming are the same thing according to my broadcast today. 100% apologies to all those Wyoming fans that are listening to us. I don't mean to keep calling you the wrong name. Wyoming into the corner. I guess I'm just not used to seeing Wyoming. We don't see them too often. Lexi gets a stick on that, breaks it up. Kai up on the far boards, goes around, still has it on his tape. They stay onside that one. He pushes it in towards the center of the ice. They don't go take a change, and Wyoming comes out the far boards. Back out to the point. Lexi with a clapper towards the front. That one goes just wide of the net. Out to the point. Milo unable to hold on to it. All the way down the ice for an icing call. 8:01 left to go. Arvada and Wyoming are teeing off against each other here at the Edge Ice Arena in Littleton, Colorado. 3rd game of this tournament for Arvada. It's the Foothills Frightfest. Their outcome of tonight's game will place them in tomorrow's semifinals and see if they can work their way into the final game tomorrow afternoon. Owen with the shot, tipped down in front by Ethan. Evan in behind. Evan picks it up. Evan towards the front of the net, flips that back out to the point. Now Jax comes back. Jax over the far boards, over to Evan. Evan goes around, gets it picked from behind, and Wyoming turns it around the other way. 99 skates in, has some room, goes around. Deeks win out and scores. Arvada finding themselves trailing in this game as they did for the last couple. Looking to dig their way out of a 1-goal deficit here with 7:25 left to go in the first period. Calder squares off at center ice, wins that one back over to Nick. Nick gets it back to Calder, and Calder's got some room on the far end. Gets it back up to his stick out of his skates. They flip that one into neutral ice, and Owen gets it up off the boards. Looking for Nick, back over to Alex. Alex walks in, picked from behind, and back out to Wyoming. Jax is going to get no call on that one as he took the body on that play. Wyoming comes in, spun around with lots of furious action going on here. Physical play and fast-paced hockey. Alex coming through center ice. Alex gets it up over to Nick. Nick goes down on the play. And back out. Owen retreating into his own zone to pick this one up. Chased down by Wyoming. Hard off the far boards to Alex. Stopped there by Wyoming and out. Wyoming picks this up at center ice. They are going to be called for too many men on that one. Are they? I believe so, yep. Too many men on the ice. The player came out when one did not step onto the bench. Arvada's going to go on the power play here with a too many men on the ice call with 6:28.
No, Wyoming's got a penalty.
Yeah, Arvada's going on the power play.
Oh, okay, I messed it up.
I didn't mess that one up.
I messed it up.
Oh, good. For once, I didn't mess it up.
Monument for 20 minutes
So
now.
Monument is going to be on the penalty. Wyoming down 4 men to 5 here is going. Kai and Colin are out there. Out to Bo. Bo shoots that one in onto Colin. Colin takes a shot. Stuck down in front. Cohen trying to get the rebound. Cohen battling in front. Puck is still loose. Out to Bo. Bo pushes that in. Looking for the bank pass off the board towards the front of the net. Stripped off that by Monument. Or by Wyoming. Oh my goodness. I need one of those dog collars. Every time I say monument, you gotta zap me. Monument's not even the same colors. I'm just so lost in my ways. Too much talking in the last 24 hours, I guess. Cohen over to Colin. Colin spins around, gets someone into the Wyoming zone. Off Cohen's shin pads. Kai keeps that in at the blue line. Colin with the shot, looking for his own rebound, saved by the Wyoming goaltender as Arvada pressures here with this power play. Coming through short-handed, they tip this one into the Arvada zone, looking to collect it is Bo. Bo behind his own net, around the boards, over to Cohen. Cohen tips that one up, trying to find Colin, back to Cohen. Behind Kai, now Kai's got it, Kai's walking in, comes across the blue line, has Cohen with him. Kai just takes that shot from the front, that one goes a few inches wide. Rung around the boards by Wyoming. Back out to Milky. Milky takes that shot hard and wide. Out to Bo. Bo fires it back in. Bo looking for his D partner. Milky's trying to skate over to that. Sees that he's offside. Spins it back around. Cohen tries to get out. Doesn't get out in time. That's offside Arvada. They've got 48 seconds left to go in this power play and 5 minutes and 16 seconds left to tick off the clock in the first period. Arvada trailing 1-0 against this Wyoming squad. Anderson racing for that. As Evan won the draw straight over to him. Up to center for Ethan. Ethan trying to go around one. Back to Lexi. Wyoming skating in short-handed. Backhands it towards the front. Lexi pokes that one back out of the Arvada zone. Lexi in her skate. She's got some room up here. Trying to find Evan, who's up deep. Anderson fighting against the boards. Wyoming goes all the way across to the other side. Hammers that one down. Lexi gets to it first, back out to center ice. Evan picks it up. Evan back to Ethan. Ethan comes in, gains the blue line. Anderson going towards the front of the net, just out of his reach, but Anderson picks it up towards the front. Puck is loose. Milo comes across, keeps that one in, backhands towards the front of the net. Anderson in front, over to Ethan, and Ethan cannot bury that puck. Wyoming gets it out, penalties expired. Lexi gets it all the way over to Milo. Milo forces it back into the Wyoming zone. Holding in that zone is Ethan. Ethan has Anderson ahead of him. Ethan dumps his player into the corner, or against the boards, and into the corner goes the play. Evan forcing him to bang that one hard off the boards. Milo keeps it in, gets run over. He does keep it in. Ethan with the puck. Ethan going into the corner, coming around, giving it over to Anderson. Anderson has it on his forehand, flipping it towards the front. Evan has the shot. Evan tries to make that shot in off the goalie's glove and into the far corner. Swung around by Wyoming all the way down the ice for an icing call with 3 minutes and 34 seconds left to go in this first period. Woo! Keeping me going end-to-end action. OTT Sports Network at the Edge Ice Arena in Littleton, Colorado. I am Harry Haviland, and you are enjoying some PeeWee A hockey. Oh, missed that draw. I was checking my messages, getting fan mail from all across. Out to center ice, Wyoming, fighting for it is Nick. Nick gets another stick on it, trying to get it back out of his own zone. Kicked up there by Milo. Milo in front of his own net. Circles back the other way with a little bit of time. He's got some room to skate. Passes that one up to Nick. Nick's coming in one-on-one. Nick's trying to go around one, gets that one stick down. Nick's still fighting into the far corner, gets knocked down. Battling for it from his knees. Wyoming the other way. Kai comes in hard from the bench, bangs that one back in, keeps it in briefly, and Lexi fires that in, and Kai's still offside as he was coming in with some heat and couldn't get back onside. Both teams completing their line changes here as Arvada is fiercely trying to get their way back in as they're trailing by one with 2:54 left in the first period. Cohen at the dot. Push back to Jax. Jax over to the far boards. Cohen steps back onside. That one comes out. Kai hangs onto it, and Cohen clears the zone. Cohen backhands that one in. Wyoming into their own zone. Come hard around the boards. This one's going to come all the way out as Wyoming's gaining some momentum, leaving their own zone. coming across center ice, passes that one forward, and Jax chases it down into the corner. Jax on his backhand, trying to kick it up the boards to Kai. Cohen's there with him. Cohen walks out of the zone. Cohen's snaking around a couple of players, a little bit of dingle dangle. Pushes it back to Kai. Kai trying to find Cohen. Wyoming dumps that one all the way down. Icing's waved and whistled down one more time as Wyoming was chasing that one hard into the Arvada zone, but couldn't get there before it crossed the red line. This line's going to stay out here as Wyoming makes their own changes. Cohen at the dot. He's got Colin looking for this one time. Out to the point. Jack skates around, gets it knocked off his stick and falls down. Owen's coming back the other way, 2-on-1. Owen gets a great stick on that, breaking that play up. Flips it out, but not all the way. Wyoming flips around at the top, shoots that one high over the corner. Kai gets it out, gets it to Cohen. Now Cohen's coming up on the near boards. Colin on the other side. Gets that stick away from him, and Wyoming coming out of their own zone again. They're flying, they're hungry for this one. They must have spent the day at Elitch Gardens or something, getting themselves all riled up for this. Bouncing puck in front, Wynn's gonna hang on to it as Wyoming's lurking in his crease looking for a rebound. He's gonna deny them the opportunity. Line change for Arvada as Evan steps out with Anderson and Ethan. Owen and Jack still on D. Fought for by Wyoming. Picked up by Anderson. Anderson's got a handle on this. He's got 3 guys to beat. Trying to shovel that one over to Evan at center ice. Still onto the tape of Ethan. Ethan goes around in the far corner. Pushes it towards the net, and Anderson had the tip there. Just went off the wrong angle and off the toe. Back towards the front. Anderson has it. Anderson shoots. Evan blocks that one as Anderson was staring at a wide open cage. Out to the front is Ethan. Stuck back in by Evan, and now they come back all the way out. Out to Owen. Owen's not going to give it enough time. They're going to wave icing off on that as it went through the legs of Ethan, and Wyoming picks it up with 45 seconds left to go in their own zone. Out to Jax. Jax keeping this one on side. This is on that pass, and here comes Wyoming. Time winding down. Come in, take the shot, and fire that one high over the corner. Got some time as Ethan. Ethan off the boards. Gets it lost in his skates. Still controls that puck, but he lost a handle on it as his skates were inside the blue line and the puck and stick were outside. 26.5 seconds left to tick off the timer. Evan and his flashy green stick pushes that one in. He goes down in the far corner. And now Wyoming coming into the Arvada zone. Make that pass a little bit ahead. Still get the shot on it. Wynn kicks that one to the side. Milky up off the boards. And Ethan at center ice. Stripped from behind. Anderson gets a stick on it. Ethan picks it back up. Pushes it into the Wyoming zone. Wyoming hard around their own net. Over to the far boards trying to break this out. Evan comes in, puts a body on his guy. Buzzer sounds, end of the first period. Back and forth action non-stop, but Arvada's finding themselves trailing 1-0 as this period comes to an end. Not that I'm running out of things to say, I'm running out of voice to say it with. And we're only halfway through, or a third of the way through our third game of this, hopefully 5-game weekend. Like I said earlier, the outcome of this game will determine what time we play tomorrow morning. And there's going to be a crossover into the other division. There's 8 teams in this tournament. Arvada is 2-0 right now. There's another team that's 2-0 as well. So if Arvada can find a way to claw their way back and win this game, we'll be facing off against the bottom team in the other division tomorrow, looking to build on some plus-minus activity and work our way into the final. Oh, I'm getting bar service delivered here. Shout out to Mr. Kindig for that one. My table's filling up. I'm gonna have to moisturize my throat a little bit more often now, as I realize we're getting service from the bar. Again, shout out to the penalty box and to the Arvada family that we have all gotten to know a little bit closer here as this season winds into full effect. Great little tailgate to start this game out here this afternoon. But now we're inside the ice arena, and Arvada goes offside as they're looking to get back into this game, trailing 1-0 at the beginning of the second period. Calder at the dot, wins that one back, gets it over to Milky. Milky on the point, shovels it in towards Nick. But Alex was offside, and they're going to whistle that one down, try one more time from the same spot. Calder back at the face-off dot. Ref squares him up. Drops that one, gets it over to Nick. Nick fighting for it at the blue line. Still battling down right in front of all these people that are standing up. They can't stand the action. Kept in there by Bo. Bo over to Nick. Nick gets it in the front to Calder. Calder's fighting in front, gets another shot at it. Calder swings that around, finds the inside of the post. Scores the goal, tying it up with 13:28 left to go in this first period. Great job at the blue line by Bo, and then over to Nick, over to Calder. Calder buries his tally and ties this game up. Same line stays out there trying to build on their momentum. Calder wins that one back over to Milky. Milky in his own zone. Gets it out over the blue line, back up to Calder. Calder walks into the zone, trying to find that all the way across. Gets it over to Nick. Nick looking for Alex. Alex goes into the far corner, trying to pick this up, battling against the big kids from Wyoming. Out to the point is Bo. Bo backhands that one in. Kept in. Bo still at the blue line fighting for it. Wyoming sneaking in behind. Great back check there by Alex as he puts his man into the boards, and Bo comes back to pick this up in the Arvada territory. Bo swings it around. Monument looks at picking that pass off. Alex gets it. Alex over to Calder. Calder coming through center ice. Nick up ahead of him. Stay onside. Calder coming around, trying to find Alex in front. Doesn't get that one all the way through. Stopped by Monument and held into the point by Milky.
Wyoming.
What? Oh my gosh, Wyoming, not Monument. Something's not clicking in my brain. That happens a lot, but it's never happened about a team that we're calling. This is just absolutely ridiculous. Icing whistled all the way back down into the Wyoming zone. Wyoming's not Monument. Wyoming's north, Monument's south. Utah is west, and Sweden is east. Okay, I got this figured out now that I've got all this direction stuff figured out in my head. Going at the draw, one back by Wyoming. Pressured in there by Kai. They push that one out past Lexi at the point. Kept in right at the line. Colin comes in, fires that one. Kai with the chance at the rebound. Can't spin it back around off his backhand. Breaks the play up, picked back up by Colin. Colin off the boards hard, pushing it behind the net. Kai chasing it down. Kai still has it, looking towards the front of the net. Cohen going into the corner. Cohen fighting for it towards center ice. Kai spins it around one more time. Too many pixie sticks before the game. We should have just stuck with Pop Rocks and Mountain Dew like we're used to. Coming in now is Wyoming. Wyoming towards the front of the net. Backhand stopped there by Wynn. Picked up by Cohen. They clear the zone. They fire that one in. Just missing their bench, but it's going to be offside. Another whistle here with 11:30 left to go. We're all tied up at ones at the Edge Ice Arena. Cohen back over to Kai. Kai keeps that out. Back over to Cohen. Cohen off the boards to himself. Racing in. Pushed off that puck. And then kept in briefly off Kai's skate, but here comes Wyoming the other way. Wyoming walking into the Arvada zone. Goes in wide, trying to push their way towards the front of the net. Backhand into Wynn. Wynn hangs on to that puck as Lexi's doing her best to protect the front of that net. Wyoming skates away, and we're going to see a whistle and a face-off over Wynn's left shoulder in the Arvada zone. Line changes seen. Evans coming out there with Ethan and Anderson. Over to Ethan. Ethan puts it out to the point. Back on Ethan's blade. Can't get that one past the Wyoming guys. Crashing in front of the net. Still fighting for it. Over to Evan. Out to the top of the circle. Weak shots in front. Wynn pokes that one away. Owen fighting for it. Owen gets it out. Anderson racing this one down. Icing's whistled off. Anderson towards the front of the net trying to find Evan. Jumps over Jax's stick. Icing is going to be the call as the whistle blows with 10:40 left in the second. Now they're going to run the clock a little bit longer. 10:35 is going to be that. 6 seconds off the clock. We're all tied up at ones. It's even slate. Nobody's really going to be yelling at them for that. The start of the second period. Monument off the glass in their own zone. Ethan fighting for it at the blue line. Wyoming spins it back into center ice. Now they're coming in 1-on-2, coming in on Jackson Owen into the corner. Good back check there by Anderson. Jax fires it hard off the boards. Gonna clear that zone all the way out. Wyoming picking it up at their own blue line. Spinning around with a reset. Over to the far boards. Evan comes in. Evan's gonna take a penalty for that as he saw the numbers and still went for the body. Player's gonna be okay, that's the most important thing, but Arvada's gonna go on the penalty kill here as Evan's gonna see 2 minutes for boarding or hitting or whatever they wanna call it. Gonna see the gate for doing something he should not have done. No questions there from him or anybody else. All the way down into Arvada's zone. Penalty kill unit is going to see Anderson at center. He's got Ethan on one wing. Milky's coming in, realizing he's on the wrong side of the ice to start with. He's partnered up with Bo on defense. Won by Wyoming, back out to the point. Good stick on it there by Anderson. Anderson fighting for it. High up in the air, kick back out. Ethan can't get enough muscle on it, picked up by Wyoming. Coming across is Milky, getting his big body in the way of that one. Milky bounces it out, it's over the blue line. Comes back in by Wyoming, it's going to be offside. $1.37 left in this Arvada penalty kill. 9:40 on the clock in the second period. All tied up at ones. The OTT Sports Network is going to continue to bring you this action. Thanks for joining us wherever you are. Bo on his backhand, back to his forehand. Kicks up the boards, trying to find Anderson. Centered there. Wynn still can't get a hand on it. Back out to the front. Another shot blocked there by Ethan. And now Anderson's racing through center ice, gets that deflected and loses a puck. But Wyoming spins it back around the other way. Bo with a good stick on it. They come in on side. Shot at the top of the circle off of Wynn's pad. Out to Anderson. Anderson clears the zone, gets it over to Ethan. Ethan's coming across, got a couple guys to beat. Still dingle-dangling around. Walks in, splits the D, still has a puck, pushes it towards the front of the net off the goalie's glove. Kicked down and into Wyoming's hands. At the point, Milky keeps that one in. Now it's flipped back out. Bo controls it center ice. Gets a weak one off the boards. Wyoming all the way down. Wynn's gonna tip that one off to the side. Icing waved off. Milky comes off the boards looking for Ethan. Ethan right down below us. Pushing his way through, 26 seconds left to go. They go back into center ice. Arvada can't keep control of the Wyoming zone as they're fighting off this penalty. Back to Milky. Milky up the boards, trying to find Ethan and Calder. Penalties winding down, 7 seconds left to go. We're going to see back to 5-on-5 action, but here comes Wyoming. Comes across, Bo stands up his man onto Milky's backhand. Milky gets it on his forehand, still swinging for it as he's laying on the ice. Wyoming picks it up, wide open in front, takes the shot and puts that one really high up over. Oh, and looks like we had a collision. We've got two players down here. I don't think it was an intentional collision. as Ethan and Stout run into each other. Both are up, giving each other some congratulations as nobody's hurt. But it is 5-on-5 hockey with 7:54 now left to go in the second period. Everybody's tied up at ones. Oh, we had too many men to start that one. Kai races back to the bench. They give it to him. Nick gets tripped up at the blue line. Over to Alex. Alex has it in the circle. Trying to push it towards the front of the net. Can't find Calder. Nick ducks under. Shot from the point by Milo. Back onto the tape of Calder. Calder shoots that one in. Puck is covered up by the goaltender as Nick was coming in crashing looking for that rebound.
There was a little commotion out there.
Little commotion, all handled. Kai goes racing back to the bench. Arvada now has the right amount of players out there. Hopefully 5-on-5. Back to 5-on-5. Calder at the dot, won by Wyoming. I had to stop myself. I just about said another name, a name we will never mention. Tripped up. Thought he was going to get a penalty. There was Calder, but it goes all the way back down. Icing signaled. Maybe Calder was just trying to tell him it was icing. Not that, hey, I took that penalty, but please don't whistle me down. I've got a box of donuts for you. Zebras eat donuts? Maybe a bale of hay and some donuts, whatever zebras eat. Some fruit, some watermelon. Pecans. Is it pecan or pecan? Pecan. Lexi into Nick. Nick centers that pass. It's just a little bit too high for Alex to handle. Bounces over his stick again. Alex fighting for it in the far corner. Spins around, back out to the point, jumps over Milo's stick. Milo backhands it over to a racing back Nick. Nick's on fire here today. Nick walks back in, goes wide with it, trying to push it towards the front of the net. Couldn't get it all the way. Calder and Alex out there with him, trying to figure out a way to beat this goaltender and take the lead. Wyoming behind their own net, back out to the point. Lexi's racing back for this one. Lexi spins it around. Clears the zone, does not clear the zone, stays on the blue line. Wyoming coming back in. Wyoming behind the Arvada zone. Over to the side for Calder. Or for Alex, sorry. Lexi back around. Calder was going the other way with it. They're all out there. Block shot by Milo. Milo out of his skates. Clears his zone. Looking for Nick. Nick off the boards. And Calder pushing for it. They stay onside. Nick's forcing his way into the zone. Nick has it on his forehand. Had Alex in front. Picked up by Calder. Calder over. Couldn't get it over to Alex. But Alex is going to find it before it clears the blue line. Alex comes in, takes the shot. Looking for that same corner to pick into the far side. Oh. Oh. Nick gets hammered into the boards. Turns around, takes a swing. He's all right. He's staying down on the ice. Coach Medic John coming out there. They go in hard. I'm willing to bet we're going to see coincidental penalties here as Nick turned around and took a swing at him. Nick's up in the corner. He's going to be all right. Going to go back. The medical staff of Arvada Hockey Association is going to take a look at him. I'm willing to bet he's back out there within a shift or two. Coach is having a conversation with the referees, seeing what's going on here as Nick slowly makes his way back to the bench, being helped a little bit. Still bent over, but he's going to step on to the bench through the gate. All tied up at 1 with 5:51 left to go in the second period. OTT Sports Network bringing it to you. I'm Harry Haviland. And we just had a little bit of a collision in the far corner. Players slid into each other, and Nick's going to get the penalty. It's going to be served by Milo as Nick is on the bench nursing an injury. Oh. Nope, he's going to go nurses injury into the penalty box. Coaches are still talking to him, making sure he's okay. That's what they got the gate for, in between the penalty box and the bench. Coincidental Miners keep it 5-on-5 with 5:51 left to go. Lines get sorted out. Arvada's got 5. Wyoming's got 5. Cohen at the dot. Cohen over to Colin. Colin just misses on that attempt. Back out. That's going to be offside as Owen hammers that one in, goes off the net and in.
Come on, Mitch. Fire up. Let's go.
The crowd is bumping here, packed house. Everybody's ready to go. So is Cohen. Face-off's dropped. Back over to Colin. Colin pushes it in. Looking for, get it back to Cohen. Picked up by Kai at center ice. Kai wheels that one around. Gets it to Cohen. Cohen gains the blue line on the far boards. Back over to Kai. Kai pushes it towards the front. There's Colin. Just gets that knocked off his stick. Colin towards the front. And it's picked off there by Wyoming. Kai with the puck. Kai's fighting for it. Gets another shot on net. That one flips up high. Cohen misses on the bouncing puck. Looking at the cage, trying to get another one. Onto the far side is Kai. Kai back over to Cohen. Cohen trying to find Colin at the front. Back out to Owen. Owen sees it, takes the shot. Glove down, puck is loose. Still coming out. Here's Cohen fighting for it. Back towards the front of the net. Kai spins around. Back out to Owen. Jumps over his stick at the blue line. Owen backhands that in. And Cohen's still offside. Whistled down. Clock stopped at 5:18 in the second period. Out to center ice, this line staying out there. 5-on-5 hockey, coincidentals in the box. Owen at his own blue line. Owen hammers it hard off the boards. Cohen racing in, icing waved off. Cohen going into the corner against number 17 for Wyoming. Chased down there by Colin. Picked up by Cohen. Cohen's walking out of the corner. Towards the front of the net, the tip looking. Kai's banging for it. Held on. The puck was still loose. Kai's asking the ref why he blew the whistle. But it doesn't matter, the whistle was blown. And a face-off is deep in the Wyoming zone. Cohen wins that back over to Owen. Owen takes the shot. Kai looking for the tip. Into the far corner. Kai towards the front of the net, whiffs on that. Sticks it back, comes out of the zone, back to Owen. Owen off the boards, over to Colin. Everybody's checked up on side. Colin digging deep into the Wyoming corner. Helped out there by Cohen, jumps over across the boards. Wyoming picks it up. Kai skates across the ice, trying to help him out. Out to Wyoming at center ice. They get turned around, coming back in, gain the Arvada zone. Walking in wide, looking towards the front of the net. They circle behind the Arvada net. Still controlling this puck. Coming around. Cohen challenges him. It's loose in front. Colin couldn't find it. Bounces over. Now Cohen's got a chance to chase this down. Wyoming gets to it first. Kai couldn't get it. Back over to Jax. Jax off the boards up to Kai. Kai into the corner off his skates. Out to Jax. Jax pinches in, banks it off the boards over to Cohen. Cohen turns and fires that one. Gets a shot on net. Banged off of Kai's stick and into the corner. Centering pass over back onto Cohen. Cohen can't get enough wood on that one. It's blocked in front. Wow. Kai's going to get a penalty for a trip on that one. He was going for the puck. And then he slashes the player. Says, oh, I'm sorry for that. But you can't just say sorry after you slash a player like that. The ref didn't see it. He's only going to sit for 2 minutes instead of a potential 4. And I think I'm already out of the penalty pool here. I think we've had more than 3. Arvada's got to find a way to keep themselves out of the box here. They are tied up at 1, and now Wyoming goes on the power play with 3:45 left to go in the second period. Evan trying to walk his way through, out to the point, doesn't clear the zone. Getting a stick on that was Anderson. Bo hard off the boards, back out to the point, clap back in, blocked by Evan. Evan flips that one out. It does clear the blue line this time. Milky back out of the zone. Evan couldn't get a skate on that one. Here comes Wyoming in the other way. Wyoming gains the Arvada zone. Walks through over to center. Shot glove down by Wynn, and he hangs onto that one, flashing the leather, keeping it 1-1 with 3:15 left to go. Deep in the Arvada zone, Evan squares up, tries to push this one forward. Coming in to help him out was Bo, but it's picked up by Wyoming. Then Anderson backhands it out of his own zone, out to center ice. Wyoming goes across, steps coming across the red line. They stay on side with that one as he drug his toe. Milky in front of the net. Wynn just dives out and collects on that one. Doesn't want to see any more action in front of his crease as they still have a minute and 14 to kill off this penalty. Ethan, Alex, Bo, and Milky. Penalty kill unit out there for your Arvada squad. One over by Wyoming. Wyoming back out to the point. Looking to take the shot. They decide to try to go over to the other side. It's broken up, picked up by Ethan. Ethan turns around. They're going to deflect that one. It's not going to be an icing. Alex racing all the way down the ice. Hard off the boards by Wyoming. Wyoming doesn't quite clear the zone as Ethan keeps it in. Goes off his backhand off the boards. Fighting for it short-handed. Kick back out to center ice. Milky backhands that one over. Alex comes in trying to find Ethan. Ethan goes deep into the corner. Keeps it on his forehand, swinging back towards the front of the net. Backhand off the side of the net. Not giving up on the play, but picked up by Wyoming. Wyoming shoots that hard. Out to the point. Milky with a shot. Gets deflected into the far corner. Bo turns around, puts that one back in. Everybody was cleared up on side, but Wyoming's coming back out through center ice. Being bodied into the play by Alex, spun around by Milky. Milky not clearing it all the way. Fighting for it, gets picked up by Wyoming. Wyoming going towards the front of the net. Intercepted by Alex, and Alex is dancing around with it, can't get it all the way out. Back on a Milky, 5-on-5 hockey. Kai is out of the box. And Arvada's back to 5 players on the ice, squaring off against these 5 from Wyoming. Here comes Calder. Calder steals out of the blue line. He's walking in, takes the shot, but it's tipped into the corner by the back-checking stick of the Wyoming defender. Out to center ice. Alex stops, checks up, gets it over to Ethan. Ethan turns and fires that one into the far corner. He was on the right side of the red line. There's no icing. Wyoming in their own zone with a little bit of time. Gets it up. Stepped around by Nick. Nick aggressively back out there. Good to see he's feeling no worse for wear. Bangs it off the boards and going in deep. Ethan chasing this one into the corner with number 32, and we're into the final minute of play of the first period. Centering pass. Picked up by Lexi after it clears the zone. Gets it over to Calder. Ethan steps back on. Calder bangs it off the boards into the corner. Picks up his own bank shot and now chases the Wyoming player behind their own net. Calder picks it up towards the front of the net. Banging forward in front. It's behind the goalie's skate and tucked up against the post. The ref signals no goal, and we've got 32 seconds left to go in a 1-1 hockey game in the second period. Both teams still trying to figure out how to solve these goaltenders and solve the defensive actions by their opponents. Lots of movement there by Wyoming. They're doing a little bit of Harlem Globetrotter style shifting around. Off the boards by Wyoming. They're going to come out of their own zone. Coming through center ice. Stay on side, take the shot up high. Glove down by Wynn. Wynn's going to hang on to it as they're coming in across the crease looking for the rebound. None to be seen, but a face-off will be had in the Arvada zone. Cohen's still out there at the dot. He's got Kai, Colin, Lexi, and Milo. Comes back out to center ice. Wyoming with that lead pass, spun their own player around, unable to gain possession of it as it goes in, and Milo backhands it weakly off the boards over to Colin, trying to find it to front. Milo with the backhand, gets to the point again. Blocked by Lexi, and the buzzer sounds. We're still sticking at ones here at the end of the second period. Apex Ice Arena is not where we're playing. Apex Ice Arena is our home. Here's a good transition for you. We're at the Edge Ice Arena in Littleton, Colorado. Your Arvada squad, who plays at home at the Apex Ice Arena, is taking on this Wyoming team who's scattered all over Wyoming. Chatting with a couple of their parents earlier. These players only actually play together maybe once a week, every couple of weeks. Wyoming, if nobody's been there, is a very spread out state with not a lot of these players being in the same. Sure. Sorry, bartender was walking by, and I graciously accepted another 7-Up for my cup.
You keep saying Wyoming wrong, and you're not even.
I can't even say Wyoming, Monument.
It's Wyoming.
I think I did better in the last half of that second period, did I not?
You did. I just don't understand Wyoming.
I'm catching myself though. I'm like,
It's the M's.
it's the M's because there's an M in Wyoming and there's an M in Monument.
I'm trying to give you an excuse.
I'm not calling them Montana or Michigan.
I don't know. I can't even remember who it was.
Arvada's had some solid third periods so far in this tournament, looking to turn it up in this one. We're squared up at 14 minutes left to go in this hockey game. 1-1s across the board. Cohen, Kai, and Colin get the nod. Out here with Jax and Owen on defense. Colin recognizes to be on the right side of the ice, goes over to his face-off positioning. One by Monument, tripped up. Kai spins around, looking for Cohen. Cohen comes across the red line. Gets back on side as Kai walks into the zone with it. Kai coming across the circle. Takes the shot, saved, backhand, spun around there by Colin. Couldn't get the fire onto it as Wyoming comes back out through center ice into the Arvada zone. Centering pass broken up. Kai back to Jax. Jax trying to feed it up the boards to Cohen. Gonna come all the way down the ice for an icing call with 13:25 left to go in the first period. Shout out to the Burke family joining us here at the OTT and for this PeeWee A game. They were down at the South Suburban taking on who? You guys were playing Arapahoe. How'd you do? We're not going to talk about this. Sorry, we're having some technical difficulties. We're not going to talk about the squirt game that was just played at South Suburban. We'll get back to the action here. PeeWee A at the Edge Ice Arena. Out to the front, off the boards. Kai flips that one forward. A little bit out of his own reach. Wyoming circles in their own zone. Cohen coming up for a little bit more pressure. They flip that one out. Cohen gets back on side as Colin comes into the zone with it. Tip back out to center ice. Jax looking to put that off his backhand, off the boards, right to Wyoming. Kai spinning with it at center ice. Kai fighting his way in, but Cohen stepped in just a little bit ahead of him. Offside is the call. 12:52 is the time. Line change is the plan, and Arvada's trying to figure a way to gain the lead. Evan on the faceoff gets it over. Anderson comes in. He's got Evan crashing towards the front of the net with Ethan. Shot off the goalie's pad into the corner. Picked up by Wyoming. Kept in there by Milky. Ethan in the far corner, in the front, almost bangs that one off the goaltender. Milky at the point, keeping that one in as he pinches. Chased into the corner now by Ethan. Ethan working his way out of that towards the front of the net. In front is Anderson. Can't find it, they're still banging away for it. Goes back into the corner. Out to the point, no faking. Milky kicks it in, over to Anderson. Back out. Milky walks in, takes a shot from the top of the circle. Blocker / stick save into the corner for Ethan. Arvada coming out with some pressure here and starting the third period. Over to Evan on the far boards. Evan stick handles around a couple, gives it to the wrong colored jersey. And now Milky does a good job of getting back, fighting for it at the blue line. Everybody gets back into play, but Wyoming controls this puck in the Arvada zone, going down hard on it. Still battling, picked up by Ethan. Ethan looking to get that one all the way out. Anderson was sneaking in behind the defense. Up off the boards, out to center ice, and picked up by Wyoming. Wyoming comes in, stopped there by Bo, flipped off the ice, off the boards, sorry, as Anderson took a shot towards the ref. Glove down, and that's offside. That Evan kid was just inside the blue line as he was racing up for the puck, and it got bounced around before it gained the zone. Calder, Nick, and Alex, Milo and Lexi are the players for Arvada out there now. One over by Calder, gets it over to Nick. Nick fires it into the Wyoming zone. Wyoming walks out across their own blue line with it, coming through center ice. Pestered by Alex. Alex goes in, trying to take a body, gets absolutely run over by somebody 19 times his size. Or sorry, that's his number. 22 times his size is what I meant to say. Pushed into the boards there by Calder. Calder fighting for it. Backhanded over to Wyoming at center ice. Wyoming dancing around, couldn't get through the Arvada players waiting at center. Lexi gets tripped up. We're going to see a penalty here, but Nick's still got an opportunity. Nick walks in. Nick gets tripped up too, goes into the corner. Going to be a trip against Wyoming as Lexi goes down at center ice. 10:36 left to go in this first period. Arvada's going to seek another power play opportunity, trying to take the lead for the first time in this game. Power play unit stays on the ice. Calder, Alex, and Nick. Calder wins that one back cleanly to Lexi. Lexi setting this play up, gets it over to Nick, trying to find Calder in front. Nick on the backhand, over to Alex. Alex takes a shot and scores! Arvada power play goal! Alex sneaks that one inside, giving Arvada the 2-1 lead with 10 minutes and 26 seconds left to go in the third period. Is that two for Alex? Did he get the first one? I think he might have. I don't know. I don't have the stat sheet in front of me. This line's getting rewarded with some more ice time. Alex all the way over to Nick. Nick walks in across the blue line. Nick steps in, top of the circle, takes the shot. Goalie with the quick kick pad out to the side. Fighting for it is Calder. Pushes it in behind the Wyoming zone. Behind the Wyoming net, in the Wyoming zone. Into the front for Nick. Nick trying to get that one back over to Calder. Sneaks across the blue line. Wyoming's coming back across center ice. Coming into the Arvada zone. Has Lexi to beat, but it's not going to do that. Lexi pushes it back out of the blue line. Wyoming gets back on side, trying to push this one back in. Thank you, Mr. Sir. Big shout out to Doug Kindig there, my personal bartender for the day. Mr. Sir is what I call him. I have no idea why. It's because I don't know what to say half the time I'm mic'd up. Icing is the call all the way back down to the Wyoming end is where we're going to see this face-off with 9:30 left to go in the third period. Arvada changing up forwards and defense. Colin, Cohen, and Kai. You got the big boys on D. Owen and Jax at the point. Cohen back out, gets it to Owen. Owen takes the shot. Save, and the puck was loose. Kai's crashing for that one. Kai into the corner, spins it around, couldn't get it through the two defenders. Picked up by Wyoming. They come around their own net, reverse the play. Off the boards, but Kai's battling for it. Still has it potentially on his stick, trying to find it towards the front of the net. Shovels it off the side of the net, picked up by Wyoming. Kai still fighting for it towards the front, or that was Cohen in there, sorry, trying to get it towards Kai. Out to the point for Owen. Owen takes a shot, it's blocked before it gets past the hash marks. Off the boards hard. They're gonna wave that icing off for whatever reason. Owen in his own zone, off the boards. Gets it up, but not all the way out. It sneaks across the blue line now, back over to Wyoming. Wyoming off the penalty box door, over to Owen. Owen fires that one up, it's gonna come in, not on the goalie. Icing is whistled. Yay, Arvada getting the cheers, Laura Lee Sutherland. Great to see you still tuning in. Watching some exciting hockey action from British Columbia, Canada. We're all the way down here in Littleton, Colorado, but we got people all over the globe cheering for this Arvada squad. As Milky pushes that one over into the corner, gets over to Anderson. Anderson walks his way out to the blue line looking for Ethan. Backhanded in, kept onside. Back onto Milky's tape. Milky up to Evan. Evan was facing the wrong way and it was intercepted. That one gets off somebody's stick up over into the Arvada bench. Flip back to the ref and this one's going to stay outside as it looks like it was off of Wyoming's tape. Draw one by Wyoming. Walking around, step in, try to take that shot. Picked up by Ethan. Ethan comes out, pushes off the boards for Evan. Arvada's going to go on another power play opportunity here as Ethan got upended. But Arvada still has the puck, pushes that into the corner. Going to be tagged. Wasn't tagged up, but they're still going to call it interference. Anderson's having a conversation with the ref. I don't like that. Don't let him talk to the ref. That is a tripping call, interference call against Wyoming. 5-on-4 hockey with 7:46 left to go. Arvada's carrying on with a 2-1 lead, trying to gain on this as the power play unit steps on Calder into the draw. Wins that one over, forced towards the front of the net by Nick, saved by the goalie. They pass it over. Alex going towards the front of the net. Not really welcomed by the Wyoming players. He's pushed back a little bit. The ref has a bit of a conversation with that defender.
Penalty's still on. The music's still going.
They haven't even started the clock yet. Now the clock's going. Okay, clock's going. Arvada back out to the point. Bo has it. Bo rips that shot up high, and it's gloved down by the Wyoming Tendy as Bo's looking to fire that one from the point to gain the lead. Kept in by Milky. Milky has it in the circle, takes a shot. Hang on to. Alex goes in, diving for that puck, gets shoved away one more time. Arvada changing up their defense here on this power play. They got 1:45 left to go with a 5-on-4 advantage. Calder looking for Nick off this draw. Calder pushes that one back over, gets it to Alex. Alex out to Lexi. Lexi with the shot, deflected and knocked down by Wyoming. Alex goes in, gets bodied off of it. Coming out as Wyoming shorthanded, gets it poked out to center ice. Picked up by Nick. Nick off the boards. Back into the Wyoming zone. Alex coming in hard. Oh, looking, help him out with that one was Calder. Still fighting for it at blue line is Nick. Turned around by Wyoming. Wyoming walks into the Arvada zone. Comes in. Oh, that one stayed out. Wide open. Good job by Arvada, but now recognizing that, hey, we've got a little bit of pressure. Lexi flips that one up. Lexi tries to go around, lifts the stick. Lexi still has it. Towards the front of the net, takes a shot off the side. Lexi to the front to Calder, and Calder could not connect on that as he was staring at an opportunity right in his face. Flipped high and blockered into the corner by Wynn. Other way is Calder. Calder's coming out of his own zone. Has some momentum through center ice. Walks in across the Wyoming blue line, trying to find Milo on the far side. Picked off by Wyoming. Kept in there by Colin. Colin going towards the front of the net. Colin takes the shot. Guy's crashing. The puck was loose. But the ref was quick on the whistle. Blows that one down, and we're going to hang on to a 2-1 lead with 25 seconds left to go in the power play and 6:10 in the period. Kai spins it around, gets it back over to Cohen. Cohen takes a winding snap at that one, misses on the play and gets it over to Wyoming. Tipped in there by Colin, chased into the corner now by Cohen. Cohen angles his man into the side, bangs that one behind the net. Colin pestering him behind. Kai comes in, Cohen tips that one down, still gets it over to Wyoming. Out to the point, doesn't clear. Cohen keeps this one in. Cohen dancing around a couple, trying to backhand that one over to Colin. They have it in front. Colin forcing it towards the front of the net. Could not find a way to put that through. Centering pass picked up by Wyoming. Wyoming's coming out the other way, and now Cohen's going to see a penalty as they still haven't tagged up on this play. Stay onside, come in to take the shot in front. There's been enough Colorado sticks on that one so far. They blow it down. Cohen's going to see 2 minutes in the box for tripping. And now Arvada is facing a man disadvantage with 5:14 left to go in this third period, and they're trailing, or they're up by 1. Welcome Natasha, tuning in from Mexico, I believe. We're all a little bit jealous as the sun went down and we were having to drink Manhattans in the parking lot at about 35 degrees. I don't think it's 35 degrees where you're drinking your Manhattans or your margaritas, but thank you for tuning in. Missed at the point. Wyoming takes it out of their own zone, harassed by Kai. Flip back in, that's going to be offside. Kelly Maurer tuning in as well. I'm not sure where you're at, but we appreciate the support. These kids do too, and I hope you're standing up in your living room screaming loud. Arvada is trying to cling on to a 2-1 lead here with 5 minutes left to go in the third period, and they are killing a penalty. Blocked there by Colin. Going into the far side, Colin backhands that one out of the zone, forcing a reset by Wyoming. Gets a stick on it, but it still gets up to Wyoming. Back into Owen. Owen hard off the boards, trying to find Colin on the far side. Sneaks into the Wyoming zone, picked up by Wyoming in front of their own net. Goes hard around the far boards. Backhand effort there by Colin, gets it over to Kai. Kai dances around one, but just pushes it too far. Off the skate and back out, up to Ethan. Minute left to go in this penalty kill for Arvada as Wyoming pushes it in behind and Owen picks it up behind his own net. Owen coming through center ice, back up to the top. They run into Owen, fall down. Now Kai's got one, now he's got 2 to beat. Goes around, gets that over to Ethan, and Ethan couldn't get control of that puck. Misses on that one, and Wyoming's coming back across. Coming through center ice. Sticked over by Jackson, back to Wyoming. Wyoming, good job by Ethan. Kai back over to Ethan. Ethan gets out of his zone. Ethan's battling over everywhere, all over this ice. Oh, Wyoming hammers Jax down into the boards. No call on that. Anderson coming around. Anderson gets hit and tripped up. No calls here going Arvada's way. Jax coming back the other way. Fought hard for and worked in by Ethan. Ethan gets into the zone. Spun around quick by Wyoming, coming across the blue line. Ethan back onside, but not in time. Whistle's blown down with 3:12 left to go, 3:11, 3:10, 3:09. I don't know if they're gonna stop this clock, but there's no Wyoming.
What? Oh, no, you're fine.
They stopped the clock at 3:06, and Evans out there to take this draw. 5-on-5 hockey, penalties are all expired. Evan wins that one forward, gets it over to defense in black. On the far side, Milky backhands it over, trying to find Ethan. Here comes Wyoming across center ice. Wyoming gains the Arvada zone. Back checked hard there by Ethan. Ethan back into the corner to Milky. Milky sees Anderson way up there. Gets it to Anderson. Anderson's got a breakaway. Comes in, takes the shot, and a big save by the Wyoming goaltender. Back towards the front of the net. Ethan can't get a handle on it. Into Anderson in the corner, off the boards. Wyoming around the other side, over to Ethan. Ethan looking for Evan in front. Evan can't get a tip on that one. Out to Bo. Bo just rings that one into the corner to Anderson. Back to Ethan. Ethan towards the front of the net. Anderson in front. Back to Ethan behind. Ethan backhand wraparound attempt foiled. Hard off the boards and out to Bo. Bo keeps that one in momentarily, and here comes Monument the other way, one-on-one. Big Milky gets a stick on that one, forces it into the corner, gets angled off the puck, rings it around the boards over to Bo. Bo with the backhand, up to Ethan, and Ethan, I feel like I've been saying Ethan's name a lot here, but he's been all over the ice controlling this play. He has it one more time, gets shouldered, and Ethan's gonna draw a penalty on that one. Oh, and he's gonna call coincidentals on that because Ethan took a swing at him after he got hit.
You gotta have control.
Gotta have control.
You gotta,
Drew the penalty, but then drew the penalty that took it.
that's just the way it goes, bros.
5-on-5 coincidentals, a minute 48 left to go.
We're gonna keep playing.
Calder, Alex, and Nick get the call. One by Wyoming out to the point. Lexi gets banked off her. And now here comes Wyoming the other way. Coming in one-on-one against Wynn. Wynn makes a big save, kicking that one out to the side. Behind the net and then off the skate of the Arvada defender. Coming out of own zone here is somebody I can't see. That's Milo. Milo fighting for it over to Calder. Turn around by Wyoming. They come back into the Arvada zone. Player calling for it on the far side. Saved by Wynn. Backhand over to Milo, back over to Calder. Missed there by Nick. Wyoming still has it at the top of the circle. Comes in with the backhand, looking for the deflection. Back into the far corner. Wyoming off the boards. Missed attempt there. Wyoming dives for it, pushes it back in. Hard off the boards by Nick, but not all the way out. Nick dives for that glove pass over to Wyoming. Wyoming can't get that off as there's a sprawling Nick in front of the net that lays on his belly and kicks that one out. Net is empty. Wyoming pulls their goalie with 1:02 left to go. 6-on-5 hockey. Backhanded, not all the way out. Wyoming still has this. Coming in at the top of the circle. Fighting hard for it into the Arvada zone. Milo bangs it hard off the boards, trying to get it over to Nick. That one's blocked. Milo has it and he flips it out of the zone, clearing the zone, forcing the reset. They come back in offside. 36 seconds, and the clock now stops. 36 seconds left to go. Arvada clinging on to a 2-1 lead here. Everybody is on their feet. Well, I'm on my feet, but... And there's a few other people on their feet. It's just because seating is so limited. Everybody is here to watch this Wyoming-Arvada game on a Saturday night. Nobody wants to go to watch the Avs play. This is the hockey action that we're all here for. Pushed upwards. Cohen trying to get that out. Wyoming coming across center ice. Pushes that in. Spun around. Kicked back out by Kai. Up to Cohen. Cohen takes this shot. Misses that. And they... Why did they whistle that one down?
Because the goalie was indecisive. I don't know if there were too many men. I don't know if they called the cadre, but the goalie was doing not off the ice. Looked back.
The goalie looked back.
Was like, oh my gosh, wait a minute.
So they got 6 players and a goalie.
I don't know.
6 players and a goalie, back to 5 players and a goalie. 21 seconds left to go on the clock. I don't know if I can handle this. I'm too old for this garbage. Kept in there by Arvada behind the Wyoming net. Wyoming gets that one stick down, out to the point, held in by Jackson. Jackson over to Kai. That one's banged all the way down. Backhanded out by Owen. 6 seconds, wrap off the clock. Kai puts that one in. Goalie hangs on to it, plays it over to his defenseman. Arvada comes out with the victory. 2-1 in a hard-fought tilt against this Wyoming squad, leaving Arvada 3-0 in this tournament so far. I believe that puts us at a 10:35 start tomorrow morning, playing against the number 4 seed in the other division. With that one, if they can come out with a victory, or if they can come out with a plus-minus that they need, we got a really good shot in going into the finals tomorrow. Oh my goodness, I'm out of breath, I'm out of everything. I've got pools around me. I've been sweating for the last 15 minutes here. but Arvada pulls it off. 2-1 victory over Wyoming in their third game of this Fright Fest tournament. The OTT Sports Network will be back live on the air tomorrow. And until then, I'm